Kenny, what do we have in the safe? We've got like what, $30,000 in the safe? Yeah, like we got like we have in the safe. We got $30,000. It's yours.
$30,000? What am I? Do I look like a beggar?
Welcome back everyone. In today's video, we're going to be getting into a Bitcoin technical analysis. We're also going to be taking a look at some of our favorite altcoins, Chainlink and Ethereum. I want to go through some of the lower time frames with you guys, really focus in on the high time frame momentum, some of the high time frame levels that we should be aware of so that we can trade the charts accordingly. So this is going to be an extremely important update. Make sure that you stay tuned for it. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. So we're going to start off very quickly on the lower time frames, then talk about some of the bullish factors that are showing on the daily time frames and what needs to happen for those to actually play out. So very quickly on the lower time frames, we had quite a nice channel here yesterday. If you are in the private technical analysis group, make sure that you do check out the 25-30 minute video that I uploaded for you guys yesterday. That was a very important update. We spoke about some potential trading setups as well. And right here on the 15-minute time frame, we did have a very low time frame channel. Now this one, we did get quite nice bounces from the bottom of it, and of course rejections from the top. But for example, this bounce from $34,000 came all the way up to the median of the channel, that resistance right here, for some profit taking, about 6.9%, all the way up to 36.8, and then once again another bounce from here, 7.8%. We did end up losing it, but ultimately got back in here and used the median as resistance once again. So we used the median as resistance here and also here as well. So it offers up some nice either profit taking or short positions. Of course, we did come down about 4.8% here, but this one was the very nice one this morning. As we broke the channel, what happens is broken support, it often becomes resistance. We didn't get that SR flip straight away, but we did come for that support resistance flip right here, and we had the daily R1 as confluence. So this is very nice resistance at around 39,800, coming down about 4.06%. But why are we actually getting a rejection here, right? From a low time frame level, of course, but we also have some high time frame things to be looking at here. So from our highs that we had, so we had a bounce from $30,000, and then we had quite a nice bounce here. So let's go ahead and put a Fibonacci retracement from these highs to these lows. We can see that we've actually come up to our high time frame resistance here, the 0.786 and the 0.886, sorry, the range Fibonacci retracement levels, and we've actually rejected the 0.786 right now. However, if we can get above this 0.786 and start to move up, this would actually be a daily horizontal that we have here, and of course the last lower high that we had on the bounce to the upside. And we have some bullish divergences showing on the daily RSI, right? We have momentum to the downside waning down, while we actually do get a very, very nice read indeed on the oscillator right here. So if we go all the way back here, we can actually see that we did have a move to the downside here as well, which got into that oversold region. That was back in March 2020. We did get pretty damn close we did get into that oversold region and now bouncing up. But what I want to see from this is a reclaim off resistance to really set in this bullish divergence. I believe it's already starting to play out a little bit, but if we are to actually look at this as a bullish factor, we need to get above this 200 exponential moving average at the very least, which is near where our last lower high is as well. Now we can be trading this off a candle body closure. So if we start to get candle bodies above here, we see momentum on the lower time frames. That's a trade I would also want to take, but as a daily confirmation above that 200 EMA is a perfect spot, as that is our last lower high, and we have come back down and actually created a lower low. And if we were to stop here, we would have a lower high. That would mean that the market structure is unchanged, so we would have to trade that accordingly. But we have a plan for both sides right now, and that is the high time frame levels that we're going to be trading. So very, very important. Of course, you see the 377 exponential moving average here. Very important exponential for Bitcoin, actually acting as some nice support on the daily time frame, as we've seen time and time again from these high time frame exponentials. When we were very bearish here, after, I believe this was actually the China news, actually no, it was over here, the China news, where they banned Bitcoin and then they unbanned Bitcoin. We did have a move up, and then over the next year we did have a trickle down, but then that next move to the upside did end up giving us a dip to the downside, coming down to that 377 EMA. So as you can see right here, we came down to this 377 EMA, then once again here, but we didn't get quite a strong bounce. So we really want to see a stronger bounce. For example, here back in March 2020, weak bounce, then broke it straight away. So do we actually get a stronger bounce with the bullish divergence confirming this? We're going to have to wait and see, and that would be a very nice read indeed. We've had a stronger bounce than what we had in March 2020 for sure, but the market structure needs to flip back to being bullish, and that would give us some more confidence behind some long positions. Now, I'm talking about these long positions as a lot of people are asking. A lot of people seem very impatient to get into these trades, and you need to be very patient for this, right? If you do not see a clear trade, there's absolutely no reason to be trading these charts anyway, right? You need to have a clear plan indeed. So on the daily time frame, we are seeing the stochastic come out as well, similar to what we're seeing on the RSI, right? We got into these oversold territories, even though that's not what I look at for the stochastic, but more importantly, we've come out of the critical zone and now in the bearish control territory. So what we need to see is the bearish control territory broken and a move into the neutral territory. That would give us some more momentum to the upside. But thus far, unchanged on the stochastic as well. Getting that bounce from the green VIX here, it's always a question of, do we reclaim resistance? And thus far, that has not happened just yet. But seeing these bullish divergences here, and potentially even coming back down and getting another drive of bullish divergence would be very, very bullish for price action. So this is why patience is definitely very, very good. So now our lower time frame kind of ideas here, of course, playing out as we did see this channel break to the downside. We acted as resistance at $39,000 and now coming back down to near this daily pivot. So if we are to lose the daily pivot, then we could target moves back down to the S1. But since we haven't lost that just yet, that would be an area to watch as well. Of course, a lot can happen since this is a very low time frame, and I'm going to be uploading this quite early today, but these are the levels to watch on the lower time frames as well. Definitely keep that S1 in mind also. So that's about it for Bitcoin, really. Like I said, I'm not going to be talking about trade setups as much because I did upload a very in-depth video yesterday, which I spoke about trade setups for you guys in the Discord group. So make sure that you do check that out. But if we just look at this resistance right here, we did break out of this range that we were in. You can be calling this a distribution range, and we did end up breaking to the downside from it. And so the S2 does line up quite nicely below or at the bottom of this range, right? The monthly S2 at $45,000, around $45,500, let's call it. So that would be an important level on the high time frames to reclaim as well, as that would actually mean that we have acceptance back into our old range that I just got rid of. So acceptance back into the range, typically you're going to get moves up to that median and potentially even higher from there. But even just looking at this, not out of the dirt just yet, right? And we have found acceptance back into this old accumulation range that we traded very, very well. So right here, if we go ahead and pull this down, not perfect, not going to do it perfectly here, but you can see that this did act as resistance on the move up and as support on the move down. So now that we're in this channel, then we can use this as confirmation of a break off the range as well. Now that's about it for Bitcoin, really. Let's go on to the Ethereum charts here and take a look at the Coinbase chart. So Ethereum is having a bounce to the upside once again, but the exact same thing as for Bitcoin right now. We've actually just set in another low high. So if you guys remember, we did have a bounce up from the bottom of our old range as well, similar to what we did for Bitcoin, and then we came right to the top of the range. So profit-taking region indeed, and now we're still inside of that range. And even though we've had a move up, our last lower high is around $2,773. So we need to start to close some candle body closures above here, and you can see how well we've actually come straight to that resistance point, that last lower high, and how bears are actually at least temporarily protecting this region. So you can be going off the wick high or the candle bodies, but as a candle body closure above the R1 out of this channel, it could be good enough to kind of look for that flip. But to be very conservative, that wick high would actually start to flip this bearish trend, these lower lows and lower highs that we have, back into a bullish trend. So that would be the region to watch. But right now we have acceptance back into the range. We're ranging inside of the range that we traded since, this region, like January 2021. We had 2 awesome bounces from here, giving you some amazing buying opportunities. And that was a 243% rise. But we know that this bearish trend, since we're buying the bottom of the channel once again, and we are in a bearish trend, we look to take profits at the top, or even, as it wicks up to our next levels, such as the R2. So we need to get back out of this channel and really, like I said, following what Bitcoin is doing right now. When we have big market movements like this, you will typically see Bitcoin, especially with the large caps, really following through. I know there's some that are doing, I believe someone said .USD, but even if we look at .USD, guys, we do have another lower high, right? Yes, we've had a bounce to the upside, but our lower high, the previous lower high is at 28.99, for example, right? So let's get rid of this. This was actually a low time frame level that we were trading. We did have a nice head and shoulder as well. This filled its target and actually went past its target. We went to the value area high, used the point of control as resistance, coming back down. This is literally the same chart as Bitcoin. Why do we take our shorts from $56,500, the positions that we spoke about a few days in a row on this channel? The reason for that was because we actually were using the point of control as resistance. What did .USD do? Using the point of control as resistance as well. What has .USD done? Bounced with Bitcoin, set in a lower high, come back down even further than Bitcoin, created a lower low, and now bouncing up, but it is another lower high. So I don't want to sit here and tell you guys what you want to hear, right? Or at least most of you want to actually take a very clear and concise view and an unbiased view, more importantly, towards the price action, right? And so you want to be actually able to catch these trades. Therefore, we need to be very unbiased. And so for right now, we are not out of the dirt on the high time frames. You guys know I am actually a very big proponent of the high time frames on the altcoins. I think they're very easy trades. And once they do come, I like to add to spot positions. I like to trade the momentum on the altcoins, because I don't actively trade them or day trade them just like I do Bitcoin and sometimes Ethereum, for example, right? So we're not out of the dirt just yet, guys. And if you want to be actually looking at this channel as well, could be a nice area. We need to actually get above the S1. That would break this market structure back to potentially bullish. But for now, a little bit of sell pressure coming in once again, as the bears do right now hold that market structure. We do have a lot of green on the VIX here, potentially marking a bottom coming into the market very soon. So that would be interesting with a reclaim off resistance. Same kind of thing for the stochastic. We're reaching that critical zone. Are we going to bounce up from here and regain that neutral territory with regain of resistance? Would be an absolutely awesome setup. So on those high time frames, they are looking good either way. So we were supposed to take a look at Ethereum, and I think we just came on to DOT. So let's go back to that. But really, Ethereum is the same. So we are inside of the channel. So we need to break this range in order to get our next momentous drive on the charts. So we can be going off horizontals as they're much better. We know that we've got our monthly profile here, our value area low, a very important support region for Ethereum at $1,838, and that resistance that we just spoke about at $2,835. We've beautifully come up to near that resistance point and actually hit our daily horizontal quite perfectly here and rejected. So that would be the region to reclaim. Let's go on to Link USD here and start to wrap this up. What we can see from Link is the same chart as Bitcoin once again. We've come down. We've had a nice bounce to the upside. That bounce was a lower high, back testing our resistance. So what happens to our monthly, the monthly profile here, right? We've got, let's get rid of everything so you can see this much better. So we can actually see right here that we've got our, let's get rid of that as well. And the volume, clean this up a little bit and just go to full screen, guys. So right here, we had a break off our range, right? We came to the value area high. We had a nice bounce. We came to the point of control, and then we had a nice bounce as well. So value area high, point of control, and then we ended up breaking our monthly profile range. So the value area low was actually broken. So on this bounce to the upside, we can see that this is acting as resistance, of course, because we've just broken our monthly profile range. The value area low is going to be very important to watch because that is going to be the resistance. What happens to broken support? It often becomes resistance. And more importantly, even if you look at the price action, well, not more importantly, but even if you were just looking at the price action, you know that this is the base that we built before moving to the upside. We've got a daily horizontal level here at $31.28, which lines up perfectly with the value area low, and we did end up using that as resistance. So once again, what do we need to do to flip this trend back into a bullish trend is take out this lower high here and start to flip into higher highs and higher lows. So the level to reclaim right now, 31.28. We want to see closures above here, candle body closures, and if you want it to be very conservative with that wick high. However, acceptance back into this range will likely give us an oscillation of the range again, so it's a nice area to watch. But Chainlink, sorry, had an absolutely amazing dip here, down to like $15 yesterday. And in our video in the Discord group, I did say, you know, I'm very biased towards Chainlink, to be honest. Now, I reckon that was just an absolutely lovely long-term position, but still not out of the woods. So I want to say that on the high time frame, still not out of the woods, but for some of you, I guess, you know, there's a lot of different ways of trading, like I've said, right? You may be looking to actually add on these dips, and for myself in 2020, that's a lot of what I did as well. As you know, Chainlink started to come down from $5, we ended up loading up at $1, $2, $3, and all the way up to $4, $5, right? So I've already got a lot of risk in Chainlink, and I've already taken a lot of profits, you know, on these moves to the upsides, as we already spoke about. However, if you are looking for long-term positions, I guess that's something you want to do as well. But of course, for long-term positions, always got to keep risk management in mind as well. And also, another important factor here, if you do actively trade Chainlink, you would see that we had a very nice move down to the wick lows from January 2021. That is your swing failure pattern confirmed once we take out that low and close back above. So in the group, I'm sure that many of you did take this swing failure pattern, as it is just such a simple invalidation, and that's a 65% move to the upside. I believe someone was saying that Chainlink had one of the largest liquidations that we've ever seen, I believe, and that's why we actually got that biggest spike to the downside. So at least in the short term, that was a nice buying opportunity and a very big support. This is just the base that we built before moving up back in January, guys. So that was back at $17, obviously. So very, very big move to the upside. Level to reclaim on the high time frames, and level to hold on the lower time frames would be that 0.786. But we want to pull a macro Fibonacci retracement here and actually take a look at where our golden pocket is. We've already discussed that we've come down to this, and we just had another move down to that 0.702. So I think that Chainlink has some clear levels to be going off as well for these high time frames, and we'll definitely be taking a look at the lower time frames in the TA group as well. But we're going to have to wrap this up now here. So that's about it from me, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate everyone's support recently. Leaving likes on the videos and supporting the channel does help me out. I appreciate that. And if you want to join the private technical analysis group, get access to my courses, booklets, daily charts, and much more, check out the description down below. At the top of the description, you will see a way to contact me, and I will send you all of the information. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.